I stapled the last bundle of paper on my desk. I arranged them on a filer and leaned my back on my swivel chair. Finally, the day is over. The paperwork for this day was horrendous. It almost gave me a heart attack. The office has been so busy, and I felt all kinds of struggles in my department. I could feel my back burning in pain, but I paid it completely no mind. It's the season of the market in which sales in real estate are getting higher, and this day is one of the busiest days during that peak season. It is so draining to work in a corporate company, especially because you have loads of work and you aren't even compensated equally. My name is Gail, and I am a hardworking office clerk, content with my modest income and the life I had built with my husband, Lens. My husband, on the other hand, works abroad as an engineer, so I am left at home with his parents. My husband and I kind of have the same line of work. I work as a clerk in a real estate company, while he is a civil engineer who builds the houses in a real estate company. And here's what's more exciting: we work for the same company because it has many branches abroad. Every morning, I woke up early, did the mundane stuff, and went to work as a normal corporate worker, but beneath my seemingly ordinary exterior lay a hidden truth that I had kept concealed to avoid judgment and unfair labels. You see, my family owns a real estate company, and we are quite well off. We are a family of real estate mongers, down from my great grandparents up to my current generation. And on the other side, my husband's father, Dave, is also an engineer and works under my father's authority. However, I never wanted my background to define me or my relationship with Lens. I wanted to be appreciated for who I am, not the privileges I may have had growing up. That is why, at a very early stage, I moved out of our house as soon as I turned 18 and worked for my life. I earned through freelancing all the while finishing college. My parents offered me money after I graduated, but I didn't accept it. Instead, I worked at our company as a regular employee with no nepotism involved and even privileges that separates me from the common workforce and employees. So I chose not to disclose my family's wealth to Dave and Lauren, fearing that they would perceive me as someone who had everything handed to her on a silver platter. My husband and I dated for 5 months, and we secretly eloped until recently when he was about to leave for a job in another country. We introduced ourselves to each of our parents. He was so shocked to know that my family is wealthy, but I told him that he should never make a big deal out of it. For a while, everything seemed perfect. While my husband was away, Dave and Lauren, my parents in law, welcomed me into their family with open arms, oblivious to my hidden secret. We shared laughter, meals, and precious moments. Everything was so fine and light having them around me. They treated me so nicely until my father in law was rushed to the hospital due to a high fever. He was doing field work while having symptoms of fever. He didn't tell us about it and just went on with his on site project. But the fever went worse and got into him. He collapsed, and a good thing the medics posted within the site were quick to respond and rushed him directly to the hospital. And unfortunately, his condition worsened. He got infected with measles and is rapidly degrading his health, including his blood count. Hence, several medications were done to elevate his recovery. So, because of that, the hospital bill was so high. But the worst came. The infections worsened as they affected my father in law's skin and corrupted the dermal cells, resulting in an early sign of skin cancer. And it has to be treated as early as now. I wanted to help them, but my salary wasn't enough. My husband said that he will double his work shift to earn more money. With my father in law out of work and confined in the hospital, we don't have enough money to pay for it all. Lauren, my mother in law, came to talk to me. I think you should do something as well. Don't just stand there. Find something that can make us money. Will you just let my son do all the work? And how about you? You will just sit on the ragged office chair of yours? You do take pride in that job? You are nothing but a corporate slave. You have low pay in your job. She grabbed my hand and held it tight with her grip. I only put up on a show to like you, but in fact, I do not. My son is a licensed engineer, and he will just end up with a clerk like you? Now make yourself useful and find some ways to pay the bill. Yes, I will. With her grip tightening, she looked at me with annoyance and anger. As you should, you worthless, ugly fool. She pushed me, and I almost stumbled on the ground. But I was able to contain my balance. I was so taken aback by my mother in law's behavior. I refused to believe that she treated me that way. I really wanted to help them, but I don't want to ask for help from my family, so I didn't have any choice but to give up all my savings. I used it to pay for the hospital bills. I didn't allow my husband to pay for anything because, to be honest, I feel guilty as well. I feel like I am useless. I want to build a strong relationship with my parents in law because we are family, but I think there is a gap already between me and my mother in law. After almost 2 months in the hospital, my father in law was finally discharged, and I thought everything would be back to normal, but I was wrong. The incident at the hospital was only the beginning of a horrible phase in my life. Every day, my mother in law would insult me with my job and salary, making me feel insecure about other people. She would also slap the truth right into my face that she doesn't like me for her son. There were many times when I wanted to talk back to her, slam her with my real status in life just to defend myself, but I don't want to be arrogant or egoistic. In short, I don't want to be like her. That's why I chose to remain silent every time she belted out those offensive and insulting statements. I don't want to start a fight within our household. That's why I continued my daily work, my work and home routines. One day, it was my mother's birthday, so I ordered a cake for her and some other stuff like her favorite books and style of dresses. And I asked one of the maids from my parents' place to help me orchestrate the plan. And because it was on a Monday, I had to rush myself to the office, and because of too much business, I forgot to contact the maid and ship the gift out yesterday. Hence, I'm doing it early in the morning. And because I was doing two different things at one time, I forgot to ship some of the gift items. So, while I was away for work that day, my mother in law stumbled upon some documents that revealed my family's address, and it listed a real estate village that is known to be exclusive for elite people. Shocked and outraged, she confronted me, accusing me of deceit and questioning my worth as a provider for the family. My mother in law stormed at me and grabbed my hand aggressively. Gail, we need to have a serious talk. It's time to address the truth. She slapped the papers in her hand onto my face. What do you mean, Lauren? I have discovered the secret you've been hiding from us. You lied about your real status, Gail. I saw that mailer and parcel at your desk. Your family lives in an exclusive subdivision. It means you are wealthy. My heart sank as I realized that my secret had been revealed. I should have not left that gift item, but I think she doesn't know who my parents are because I didn't write their names on the mailer. Lauren, I didn't mean to deceive you. I was afraid you would judge me based on my background, and I wanted to be accepted for who I am, not for my family's wealth. I responded to her with honesty. This is the exact reason why I didn't tell them about my family, because I wanted to be appreciated and loved through my individuality. Acceptance, huh? Do you think lying to us is a way to achieve that? How could you hide something so significant from your own family? I didn't want my family's wealth to define me. I wanted to build a genuine connection with all of you based on love and understanding. A genuine connection? All this time you have been playing pretend, acting like one of us? I can't believe I let someone like you into our family. This is why I never liked you from the start. You know what? You're a good catch. Our life would have been better if your arrogant ass didn't play Miss Independent. I could have accepted you, but here you are, a mess. I don't want to see your face anymore. Good thing you did something useful for once and paid my husband's bill. My eyes welled up with tears, hurt by Lauren's harsh words. Lauren, please try to understand. My love for Lens is real, and I care about you and Dave. I never meant to hurt anyone. I just wanted to be seen for who I am. She rolled her eyes. Seen for who you are? Oh, do shut up, girl. Stop wobbling about with your mouth. It annoys the hell out of me. You are nothing but a fraud. I never liked you, and this revelation is just the perfect opportunity to get rid of you. Lauren's words cut deep, and my emotions escalated with every sentence she uttered. I fought back my tears, and I gathered my strength. If that's what you truly want, Lauren, then I'll respect your decision. But please remember, love and acceptance should not be conditional on material wealth. She just laughed at me like I was a joke. You know what? Just pay us for compensation for your worthless lies. She smirked at me and laid her hand in front of me. You should be ashamed of yourself. Pay us for our troubles, or I will drag you out of the house. Her words pierced my heart, and I could feel her annoyance. And it is true, in the heat of the moment, Lauren made a rash decision. She demanded that I leave their house, citing my lies and low-paid job as justifications for her actions. I was devastated, feeling rejected and judged solely based on the life and principles I made for myself. She didn't even allow me to pack my belongings and just literally dragged me out of the house. She gripped me by my arm and pushed me to the ground. Get the hell out of here, you deceiving bitch, and never come back. And then sooner I found myself searching for a new place to stay in the middle of the night. I didn't inform my husband about the commotion. However, I told my father about everything, from the small details to the big ones, and he was furious to hear it. He was so mad that he wanted me to reveal everything to them. But I told him not to rush because I wanted to take my revenge. So as soon as I left, an unexpected series of misfortune befell my parents-in-law's life. It all started with electricity tripping off, leaving them in darkness. Then, the water system malfunctioned, leaving them without running water. To add to their woes, they received the distressing news that their house was listed for sale. It turns out that they were facing financial difficulties with the housing company, and the situation worsened when I unknowingly took the knowledge of this struggle with me when I left. And this is all through my request to my father. It is about time to use all my privileges, and it must serve me well. I will not let them get away with their abuses and mistreatments towards me. They were so confused about what was happening, so I made a grand comeback, revealing to them who I am. But this time, I got the upper hand. I came back to the house and confronted them once again. I want to remind you both of the day you kicked me out, the insults, the mistreatment, and the judgment you passed based on my income. It hurts deeply, and it's time for you to understand the consequences of your actions. And what about it? She asked me in a very aggressive tone while raising her eyebrows. Well, it's time for the truth to come out. My family's wealth and social standing were never a secret. My father is the owner of the very real estate company that built this house, and yes, he is your son and husband's boss. Dave and Lauren's eyes widened in disbelief, their face turning pale. Why did you hide it? Why go through all this? My father in law, who is now well, asked me nervously. I have said this to you and I will say it again. I don't want to be judged solely based on my family's wealth. I want it to be loved for who I am, not the privileges I may have had. Oh, so you are a rich brat and you're playing with us? What now? To make us feel inferior? No, Lauren, it was never about making you feel inferior. It was about breaking free from stereotypes and building a connection based on genuine understanding and respect. But your mistreatment of me showed your true colors. Dave and Lauren exchanged guilty glances, realizing the pain they caused me. We didn't mean to treat you that way, Gail. We were wrong, and we're truly sorry. My father-in-law was truly sorry about it, but remorse can never be seen in Lawrence's face. I appreciate your apology, but apologies alone cannot undo the damage that was done. It's time for you to face the consequences of your actions. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to reveal our family's lawyer and a group of people. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I am here to inform you that due to financial mismanagement, your house is being repossessed by Gail's father's real estate company, Mr. Glenn Forgave. Dave and Lauren were in complete shock, their faces filled with disbelief and panic. You see, when you kicked me out, you unknowingly crossed the path of my father's company. The financial struggles that led to the repossession were a consequence of your mistreatment. Dave and Lawrence's shoulders slumped, realizing the impact of their actions, especially Lauren, because Dave was just merely a pawn in Lawrence's game. The weight of my mother-in-law's judgment and mistreatment crashes down upon them. I hope this serves as a lesson to you both. It's not about wealth or social status. It's about treating others with kindness and respect regardless of their background. Dave and Lauren sat in silence, their faces filled with regret and a newfound understanding. Amid their mounting troubles, Lauren realized the gravity of her actions and the mistaken judgment she had made about my worth. Overwhelmed with guilt and desperate for a resolution, she swallowed her pride and came to me, begging for my mercy. She apologized for her mistreatment and acknowledged the unfairness of her assumptions about my job and income. Although hesitant at first, I saw an opportunity for justice and growth. Seeking legal counsel, I gathered evidence of the mistreatment and hypocrisy I had endured. The truth was presented in court, revealing the true nature of Dave and Lawrence's behavior. Their mistreatment towards me was exposed, and they were convicted of their actions. The aftermath of the trial marked a turning point in our lives. My husband and I realized that we deserved better than the toxic environment created by his parents, especially his mother. We focused on rebuilding our lives, learning from the experience, and prioritizing our happiness. Our relationship with Dave and Lauren remained strained, but we chose to prioritize our well-being and surround ourselves with positivity. I found a new job that aligned with my skills and values, breaking free from the judgments associated with my family background and income. As we embraced our newfound independence, we left behind the shadows of their mistreatment. We learned that we could thrive in our terms, irrespective of our financial backgrounds. The experience taught us the importance of authenticity, acceptance, and treating others with kindness and respect. My husband and I focused on nurturing our relationship and creating a loving and supporting environment for ourselves. We surround ourselves with friends who appreciate us for who we truly were, not for our family's wealth or social standing. Together, we built a strong foundation based on trust, understanding, and shared values. Meanwhile, Dave and Lauren face the consequences of their actions. The legal conviction served as a wake up call for them to reevaluate their priorities and the way they treated others. It was a hard lesson for them to learn, but sometimes it takes a significant event to bring about real change. Over time, my husband and I forgave Dave and Lauren for the pain they had caused us. We understood that people can make mistakes and that growth is possible. However, the dynamics of our relationship with them shifted. While we maintained a cordial connection, we established healthy boundaries to protect our well being. As we moved forward, we continued to cherish and support each other. I thrived in my new job where I was valued for my skills and dedication. The weight of my family's wealth no longer burdened me, and I focused on making a positive impact in my own right. Our story serves as a reminder that judgment based on someone's income or background can lead to misunderstandings and unnecessary pain. It's essential to look beyond surface level perceptions and appreciate individuals for their character, resilience, and the love they bring into our lives. In the end, my husband and I found our path to happiness, free from the limitation imposed by societal expectations or the mistakes of others. We embraced our true selves unapologetically and built a life that reflected our values and aspirations. As we journeyed forward, we held onto the valuable lessons learned from our tumultuous experience, forever grateful for the strength and resilience it had awakened within us.